Hello camera geeks! Welcome to my video tour for the Kodak number 3 Cartridge Hawkeye Model C. Oh, these early Kodaks and their completely unwieldy model names just crack me up. So this is a 120 folding film camera, and this is what it looks like when it's folded up. Oh, I have the frame counter covered because I was shooting it with adapters today. Take that off of there. So it shoots 120 film, which it conveniently tells you on the back. And I love folders for when I travel because they fold up nice and compact. So to open this one, this lever, which also is the stand lever, is what locks the front closed. And then this pulls out. Go, and there's your bellows. This camera has 2 distance settings on it, and they are controlled by this little scale right here. The distance settings are 8 foot to 2.5 feet is the close setting, and then the farther setting is 30 to 100 feet. So basically 30 to infinity. And I have now shot 2 rolls through this particular camera, and I really, really love it. It's so amazing that a camera that's about 100 years old can still work just as well as when it was made. I've shot both 120, which those test rolls are now up on my Instagram. And I also shot a roll of 35mm with the Camera Hack adapters. And that is not developed yet, but will be soon. This is a very simple camera. You have 2 shutter speeds, which are controlled by this switch right here. And one is basically instant, and the other one is time. So instant, this is your shutter lever right here. Instant, basically the shutter opens and closes, that's it. And depending on which way your lever is, if you push it up, it activates the shutter, but then the next shot, you actually put it down and it activates the shutter, and then it just stays in that position. Time, you flip it up, it opens the shutter, and it stays open until you hit the shutter again, and then it closes. Your aperture is controlled by this silver dial right here, and I think this one has 5 apertures, so it's on 2 right now. There's 3 is smaller. 4 is the smallest, I believe. Yes, okay, so 1 is the largest. So 1 is fully open. There's 2, 3, and 4 is the smallest. So very simple, very basic. Your viewfinder on this camera is a waist level finder, which is this right here. And there is your waist level finder. You look down through it. It can be challenging with these old cameras to get just the right angle. You really have to be, oh, you can actually see it there a little bit. You really have to be right over the top of it. In bright daylight, it can be a challenge to see, so I normally just put my hand around it. Oh, there, you can actually see quite well. And it really helps it be easier to view. But once you get used to it, it's really not that much of a challenge, but it does take some getting used to. So if you want to shoot portrait, your waist level finder goes like this. If you want to shoot landscape, you flip your camera over. Oh, I gotta go the other way. And then the waist level finder rotates like that. And you are ready to shoot horizontally. So very nifty. And I discovered today when I was testing, you have to make sure when you go to fold your camera back up, your waist level finder is in portrait mode, otherwise it interferes and it will not close down all the way. So on the side, this is your wind knob to advance your film. On the back, you have your frame counter window, which is open all the time. On some cameras there's a little cover, but this, it always just, you see the number in the red window. On this side of the camera, it does have a tripod mount, which is nice. It has actually 2 tripod mounts. So this would be the tripod mount for if you want to shoot landscape. And then this is the tripod mount if you want to shoot portrait orientation on the bottom of the camera. So to open this camera and load the film, what you do is there's this slide. And it's easier if I fold this up and show you. Get him closed back down. Come on, baby. All right, so to fold this, you push these 2 notches like that. Folds flat. This locks the door closed. If you don't do that, the door will come open. So you just do it right like that. Boom. All right, to open this camera and load the film, you use this slider right here, and you slide it to the right, and the whole front of the camera comes off, like so. And this is where your film goes. So your take-up spool goes down in here, and then the film threads along the back of the camera, and your roll, no, this is your take-up roll, I'm sorry, excuse me. This is the take-up side. Your unexposed film goes on this side. Your take-up roll goes on this side. And you know that because that is where the winder is. So to load your film, you pull it out. You grab a spool here. You pull it out all the way, and then this sits right down in here. Well, your empty spool would go here. Just using this for the sake of example. And then you can see that's how you wind your film. So it can be a little tricky to load one of these the first time because you gotta put your roll in and you gotta pull it out and you gotta lay it along the back. I actually think it's easiest to take your film and have it and your take-up roll out and thread it through the other roll and then put them both in at the same time is the easiest way to load the cameras like this. So that is your, once you have your film loaded, then you just put the front back on like this and you're ready to shoot. So that is the Kodak #2 folding cartridge Hawkeye Model C camera. This camera is film tested and working. It is for sale in my shop right now, so click the link in my bio and you can be the proud owner of this gorgeous antique camera.